York's classic rock, Q1043.
We have a very, very, very special guest with us in the studio this morning at New York's classic rock, Q104.3. Who are you? What's your name?
My given name is Paul.
No, not that name.
The name we know you by.
My professional name is Ace Frehley.
Yay! Now we know how to pronounce it.
Okay, because you know what was driving us crazy? I mean, even though you've been famous for over 40 years, we hear your name pronounced two different ways by people.
Well, there's actually three.
Oh, what's the third?
There's Frehley, and then there's Frehley, and then there's Frehley.
Right.
But it's Frehley.
But I freely admit that it's Frehley.
Because
Frehley.
well, you know, there's a situation with the guy from Bachman Turner Overdrive, Randy.
Yes.
Randy Bachman's name is Randy Bachman. His name isn't Bachman.
You're killing me.
But he said that, you know, when BTO came out, Bachman Turner Overdrive, that's what everybody said. So he just had to go along with it. But his name is Bachman.
I don't care. You know, people mispronounce my name as long as they say it.
But I wanted to hear you say it. So
we had to know.
But listen to the Alive album, and Paul Stanley will go, Ace Frehley, lead guitar.
Yeah, well, but you know, it's Paul. What can I say?
Okay, you got it from the horse's mouth.
All right. And we're celebrating the release of your new album. It'll be out tomorrow, and it's called Spaceman. And apparently that was a title that you were sort of
given.
No, I was doing a vault experience in Miami with Gene Simmons, and we were doing a Q&A, and I just thought at the time, we didn't have a name for the record yet, and I wanted to call it 40 Years Later because it's been 40 years since my first solo album.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like threw it out to the audience. There's about 100 people there, and I kind of got a lukewarm reception on that name. And then, like I just said earlier, Gene Simmons goes, Ace, you must call the album Spaceman. And I said,
and of course.
Well, but you know something? Who have you ever met who's a greater marketer than Gene Simmons?
This is true.
I mean, if he suggests an album title,
I wasn't going to argue with him. I was just up in Sirius, and they had Gene Simmons soda now. I mean, he just doesn't stop.
Well, your first solo album was a part of a series of 4 solo albums by the original members of KISS.
Right.
And there's a big special 40th anniversary boxed set that's coming out.
I hope I get my check.
I'm sure you will.
Well, I'm sure you will. And if you'll recall, it was from that album that you ended up having a big hit. No other member of KISS has ever had a big solo hit, only you.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, but it's true.
I know. I'm the only successful solo artist that was one of the founding members of KISS.
Right, I know. And New York Groove is a main part of Avengers: Infinity War, the deleted scene that's being restored.
I was watching that this morning.
They've restored a scene for the upcoming digital and home video releases.
They're putting it back in?
Yes, they're putting it. It's back in.
I love it.
It's back in.
I love it.
And Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, and his fellow Guardian of the Galaxy, Drax the Destroyer, or whatever, are arguing over the merits of Ace Frehley and his hit single New York Groove. They're arguing about it.
Yeah.
Quill is upset that Drax has shut it off, and Drax.
Well, he said it keeps repeating itself. It's the same thing over and over again. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, and Drax shouts, "The man who sings this song is a degenerate." And then Quill fires back, "I will not sit here and allow you to malign Ace Frehley."
Wow.
I mean, it's not just your song. It's big. It's, you know, a discussion of you, your persona.
A degenerate.
I'm quite the opposite.
Yeah, he's a pretty clean-cut fella, actually.
12 years sober.
Good. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
And a very, very tight, close personal friend of our friend Eddie Trunk, who is heard Friday nights here at Q104.3. Right. So the first single, which we'll hear in just a moment here on the Q, is Bronx Boy. And it's autobiographical?
Pretty much. I did an interview yesterday. I forget where, because I've done about 20 already. But he said, how did that song originate? And my friend Ronnie Mancuso from Las Vegas came over with this song, and I liked the music, but the song was called Green Tea. And pretty much the concept behind the lyrics were, I got my green tea, don't need no cocaine. I said, are you serious? So I said, look, I like the music. Let me rewrite all the lyrics, which I did. And I pretty much took from my childhood.
Uh-huh. Well, where in the Bronx were you?
I lived right off Bedford Park Boulevard. I was in between Bedford Park Boulevard and Marshall Parkway.
And
Wait, I think you two have something in common when it comes to high school. Aren't you both high school dropouts?
You would see?
well, I am.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I went back and got my,
You got your GED?
yeah,
I never did.
I celebrated.
You never did?
No.
Don't you think you should?
I'm afraid to.
Don't you know what that looks like when you feel? Why do you mean you're
What if
afraid
I
to?
flunk?
Oh, come on. He reads more books than anyone I know and doesn't get rid of any of them. They're all friends. And they
That's
live
great.
with him.
I picked up, the magazines in the little pouches on the planes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading this article, and they're saying technology is moving so fast that if you enroll for, a diploma or whatever you call it, by the end of the time you get your diploma, half the stuff you've learned is already out.
It's obsolete.
Obsolete. That's the word they use.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
What are you going to do?
a lot of technological changes. Well, look at the difference in the recording studios from when you first started. I mean,
Huge.
you were, recording on analog tape.
Must
you
have been a
first
lot more
started.
fun.
And then you got
Nope.
No?
No. A big no on that.
Why?
Well, when I wanted to edit a solo, I had to pull out a razor blade and start cutting pieces of tape. And we'd have little pieces of tape here and here. Oh, that's this note. This is this note. Today it's a click of the mouse with Pro Tools.
Well, I still know how to do that.
I used to edit like that.
Yeah, I still
I
know how to-
liked it.
I
With
know
an-
how to do it.
with an
but
editing
it's
block?
time consuming.
And then the second single, Rockin' with the Boys, was originally written in the 70s, and you filmed a video on stage in Detroit. Detroit being a place that has always loved you,
Mm-hmm.
always loved you guys.
People used to think we came from Detroit because Detroit was the first city where we headlined a major arena, Cobo Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Up at that point, we were still playing 2,500 seaters on the east and west coast.
Mm-hmm.
But once Alive broke, the rest is history.
Well, it's kind of,
I hate that cliche,
I
but
know,
it's,
I
like
but
it.
it's easy.
I know, but it's true. And the thing is, that particular town, it's really kind of an unusual music mix because you have Motown and you have pretty hard rock. And it's one of the few big cities in America where there's a very popular, highly rated, current hard rock radio station, that would play in heavy rotation the new Anthrax album.
Mhm.
It's that kind of town. And they took to Kiss in a big, big way.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they all lie about it. They all say they're pictures. They all say that they're in the picture.
We always used to stay at the Hilton. I remember I went to the bar one day with Peter, and lo and behold, I didn't realize the Yankees were in town. So I'm sitting at the bar with Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford,
Wow.
and one other, Roger Maris.
Wow.
It was insane. And, those guys were getting loaded.
Well, and
back
so
in
were
the
you.
day, that's what they did.
And so were you.
Yeah.
And so were you. Well, how many years sober now? 12?
Yeah, September 15th.
That's,
That's an accomplishment.
yes, that
I
definitely is.
I don't make a big deal about it. I don't preach to anybody. I think if you want to drink and take drugs, go right ahead. You got to learn your own lessons. That's why I called my book No Regrets.
What made you stop?
The definitive, they always say an alcoholic has this one defining moment, the clarity. My daughter gave me a call from Florida. She was living in Florida at the time, and she's in the program. And I had relapsed with my sponsor. And, your sponsor's the guy that's supposed to keep you sober
Yeah.
and give you direction. But we both decided to go out and get drunk, and which was kind of a weird thing to happen. But my daughter gave me a call about 2 months later after that had transpired, and she said, "Dad, you're on the wrong path. Please." And that night I called my sponsor, went to a meeting, and it's been 12 years since I had a beer or any other type of alcohol.
Well, good for your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And good for
she's
you
got
as a
like
dad.
3 years now. What?
Good for you as a dad.
Well, I try to do my best. She's living out in Newport Beach in a townhouse, and she works in a mall. And she's got her stuff together.
Ace Frehley is with us here at Q104.3. Now, the influence that you've had on a lot of very significant artists is something that must be a great source of pride for you. I mean, Tom Morello, what a great guitarist he is, cites you as an influence. Also, Slash, our friend J.J. French, Twisted Sister. Oh, and I mentioned Anthrax a few minutes ago. Scott
I'm friends
Ian.
with all of them.
I mean, guys from Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, citing you as an influence. And that has to be a source of great
I feel
satisfaction.
guilty
Why do you feel guilty?
because I never took a guitar lesson.
Well, some people are naturally gifted.
And you can't read music, right?
No.
Well, so what? Paul McCartney can't read music. You
Oh,
know?
I know a lot of people can. No, I think it makes it more of an accomplishment. Are you kidding?
You know, if it sounds good, do it. That's the way. That's always been my motto. You know, and like when I'm writing guitar solos, I don't write them. I just say hit the record button and I play. I empty my head. I do 3 or 4 takes, and then we'll take the front end of one, the middle of another one, and the tail end of another one. And of course, in Pro Tools, you can edit it seamlessly. And that's the way she goes. It.
And 2 of the songs on Spaceman, which will be released tomorrow, feature Gene Simmons.
Yes.
A bit of a mini reunion.
Did you know that I'm his only friend in the world?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so many times I've heard him say, I have no friends. And he said that I was doing a vault experience with him at Capitol Records in Los Angeles. The next day I sent him an email and I said, Gene, I'm your friend. Don't ever say that. And he's kind of taken me under his wing. You know, he took me to Australia with him. He was supposed to go to Japan with me, but for some reason he canceled at the last minute.
You just hired his band.
I stole them.
You hired his solo band, Gene Simmons' solo band, and to be your band. And is it true that your very first performance went flawlessly without a single rehearsal?
Right.
Wow.
They didn't have to rehearse. They were Gene Simmons'
They're
band.
all
Now they're his band.
they're all fans of mine, and they know
So
every
they know
one
all
of my
the music.
songs.
Yeah.
So they already knew it. They already
Yeah.
knew it. That must have been.
And we just did Rockin' with the Boys live on Fox, some Fox morning show. Don't ask me the name of the show because I keep getting it wrong.
Well, what was it on Fox News or was it on Fox 5?
I don't know.
Was it on 6th Avenue? Was it on
Just-
was it on 6th Avenue or was it on East 63rd Street?
It was on the east side,
Okay, it was on the east side.
and it was the 2 girls that run.
Okay, that's Rosanna Scotto's show.
Yeah, Rosanna's one
The
of
Black
our friends.
woman and the white
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Right. That's Good Day New York.
Right.
That's the show you're
I
on.
thought it was Good Morning Today.
No. There's
I don't think there is one of those.
there's a Good Morning America and there's a Today.
Yeah, I've done Good Morning
But your
America.
album comes out tomorrow,
Right.
not today.
Exactly.
And tomorrow there's going to be a pop-up store inside Sam Ash on 34th Street.
I've been getting that wrong all week. I've been saying it's 14th Street. But the people know. The people know.
That's accurate.
It's in the
But
air.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't get stuff straight sometimes.
It's 34th Street, and that'll be tomorrow. A pop-up store. People will be able to pick up the album, and I'm sure. I mean, it's Gene and Paul, business geniuses that they are. I'm sure that they're going to get behind the 40th anniversary vinyl box set in a big way, which ought to be a nice, check in the mail for you.
The albums have been out forever. What's new about it?
What's new about it? It features 4 180-gram vinyl pressings in the Kiss solo colors, red for Gene, purple for Paul.
Blue for me.
Yeah, and green. for Peter, and 4 12 by 12 mini posters, one for each album, and a turntable mat with the 4 Kiss solo faces.
Well, that's neat.
And it's limited to 2,500 copies.
Don't believe it.
Not with Gene behind it. Now, come on.
Don't believe it.
And a farewell tour, too.
Oh, yeah, farewell tour.
I think it's
Now,
calling
many
it the end of
years?
the road tour.
Now, look I know that you have expressed an interest in getting back into that band at some point, but if they're going to be doing their farewell tour, that better happen fast.
Well, for the last 2 years, ever since I got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, people have been asking me, are you going to go back with Kiss? Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. And I haven't been asked, so.
Right, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're Gene's only friend.
I know, but, Gene is about money. So, I was doing a thing in Los Angeles at the Musical Institute in front of 500 people. I was doing a Q&A, and they said, are you going to be part of the reunion tour? And I said, you know when I'm going to be part of it? When Doc McGee gets a call from the promoters and says, we'll pay you double if Ace is on the bill. If that doesn't happen, I probably won't do it.
Well,
It's about money. I'm not going to lie.
Well, Gene's-
Everybody knows it, and Gene will be the first one to
But
admit
then
it.
it'll be worth more money with you in it.
Yes.
That's obvious.
right. And Gene's
everyone.
Gene's a smart businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene's a very smart businessman. And you're doing another cruise, right?
October 31st.
Halloween.
That should be interesting.
Yeah,
No, wait. Now
that's-
we've been
That's
on
Kiss Cruise 8.
8.
8. Miami to Key West and then on to Nassau.
Ooh, gambling. One of my favorite pastimes.
That you haven't given
You
up.
know there's a 12-step program for that, too.
I know.
Maybe he doesn't need it.
I don't need it. I only gamble like 4 or 5 times a year.
Okay.
I
Oh,
usually-
that's not an
Usually
addiction.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
Atlantic City if I'm on the East Coast.
Do you have a quitting point?
No. When my money runs out.
Okay, that's the quitting point.
Yeah, that's a good
But I
quitting point.
walk in, I'll have like 10 grand and I'll say, if I lose the 10 grand, I'm done.
Okay, well, Spaceman will be released tomorrow. And it's your third solo album in 4 years. And you have your new band. And you've got the pop-up store inside Sam Ash tomorrow on 34th Street.
If you go to the right address. Don't go to 14th Street.
I'm expecting a big crowd because the last time I did it, it was like 500 people there, and we only had 2 days to promote it. We've been promoting this for a month. So, when they say it's going to be 2 hours, I don't believe it. Because, I can't walk out if there's 250 people still left on the line.
Well, I know. You have to take care of everybody. That's what a true star does. Someone that is devoted to the audience as well as the audience being devoted to them. We've seen that. Okay? You know Garth. You know who Garth Brooks is?
Yes, I do.
A huge Kiss fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge Kiss fan.
Now, Garth Brooks went at the time, at the peak of his career, the biggest recording artist on earth for a while. Shelley was with me. We saw him stay hours after his allotted time to get to the very last person to get a picture taken with him and his autograph. He would not leave.
Very admirable.
Would not leave.
Well, very grateful for every single fan, but you're the
and
same
obviously
way.
you're like that.
Well,
Which is great.
The fans made me who I am today. They've bought me all my cars, my estate,
You have an estate.
Well, I don't know.
You have an
Yeah, I
estate?
just moved into an estate. That's the truth. I get lonely there sometimes. I hang out with my maid.
Okay. Ace Frehley,
But there's always Gene.
Gene Simmons'
Your
only
friend.
friend.
Well, he'll
Gene's-
come. He's going to come down. He came down to my last place.
Actually, that would have been a great name for an album. Gene Simmons' only friend.
Yeah,
Ace Frehley.
for the next one.
Somebody was telling me who saw an interview with me and Gene. We did a Q&A in Australia, and they said, you guys are like Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. And wouldn't we have a funny show together?
Yeah. Which one was Bob and which one was Bing?
I don't know. You got to watch it.
Okay. Ace, thanks for visiting
Thank
with us
you,
this
Ace.
morning
My
here
pleasure.
at 104.3.
for
Congratulations
having me
on
on.
the release of the album. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to you tomorrow.
New York's classic rock. Q 104.3.